Good morning. Wake up to a brand new day. This morning, stepping on my way. Good morning. Give me strength to give me just what I need.
And welcome back. Good to have you along with us. We've learned about the Oregon Trail, and now we get to learn about some music.
Absolutely. This next gentleman we're going to be talking with, he's a percussionist, an award-winning composer or a performer, and he plays the most unique instrument. It's called a hang. And if you don't know what it is, then he's going to share that and tell us what it is. Michael Fitzsimmons is joining us this morning. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm great. How are you?
We are wonderful. Thanks for joining us. You're going to be performing at the Kool-Aid Days coming up this weekend. So and that's Gordon's hometown.
That's my neck of the woods, yeah.
Yeah, so what a treat that people are going to experience when they come and hear you play a hang. Now explain what a hang is.
Well, these are the instruments here. They were invented in 2000. They have these different dots on them. So that's where the notes come from. They were invented in 2000, came on the world market in 2001, and they're very hard to get. The man and woman make them. Those are the only people that make these. So, yeah, I feel very fortunate to have 4 of them. So, yeah.
Where are they made at? You mentioned a man and the woman that make them. Where do they make them at? Where are they from?
They're made in Bern, Switzerland. I just saw a little video of them. They have this beautiful little hut that they make these things in, and they're on a river, and they have all these different shells, the bottom, the hole in it, and then the top, that they put these dents in and then sharpen or flatten it by hammering across the top. Anyway, that's where they're made, in this beautiful area around Bern, Switzerland.
You know, the thing that I thought was so impressive, Michael, when I was reading about this, is those dots. That's kind of like your tone circle, is that correct? And so
That's right.
How do you figure out, like, where G note is or A note on something like that? Because you know how that works.
You just play them. There's 9 notes on these, so it's not a lot to keep track of. Plus, my recordings, the pieces that I've played for so long that they're they're relatively easy for me. But a lot of it also is improvisation. So some of it is, like the makers say, just let yourself go with these instruments too. So just let it happen. That's part of it.
Michael, I was watching some YouTube video of you playing last evening, and on one of them, the holes in the middle of the hang there, you had, like, and a trumpet would be almost like a mute, I would guess, but you had some sort of device in there that altered the sound of it. What would that be?
Well, it was probably the bottom.
Okay.
You see that hole there? You play this, and you can put your hand in there, and it changes the sound.
Okay.
So you can play the bottom of that as well as the top.
Right. Sometimes I'll do what's called looping. So I'll record one piece in the moment, and then play along with that. So I'll use that bottom as a bass tone, a bass note, and then play melody on top of that, if that makes sense.
Okay, so a lot of people learn how to play the clarinet, the flute, the trumpet. How did you learn how to play the hang?
So my wife and I were vacationing on the West Coast around Washington, and we got tired of camping out, so we went into Seattle, and there's a small music store there called Lark in the Morning, and I knew that they carried these instruments from different cultures. So I said, honey, we got to go in there and check those out. So we went inside, and I saw several of them up on a shelf.
And so that's what you thought, oh, I'm going to get one of these, because we're watching some video right now of you at one of your performances.
Oh, yeah.
And so it just intrigued you, correct?
It intrigued me. I made note of it and forgot about it, and it showed up under the Christmas tree that next year.
Wow.
Now, you play, so we're seeing you play some kind of flute instrument here, correct? How many instruments do you not play, is what I should ask.
Well, percussion, it's endless. So, but this is a Brazilian percussion flute that I'm playing there. Yeah. I play the kalimba, which is a sweet little instrument. Sweet little hand instrument. This is from South America.
Have you always played music? Have you always been interested in music and different instruments?
Yeah, since I was about 8, playing pots and pans in the backyard. Like a lot of,
That's how it started.
and Grandma who lived 2 blocks away calling and telling me to quiet down.
So there's hope for Gordon
A lot
yet.
of a lot of moms right now are going, yes, there is hope.
My son and daughter will be playing the hang. Well, Michael is going to be back with us after this commercial break, and he is going to be playing the hang that you see there. And there again, you can see him this weekend at Kool-Aid Days. We'll be back with Michael Fitzsimmons in just a moment. Friends, stay right where you are.
Hello, sunshine, come with me. I feel something new inside me. I hear the birds singing.
Welcome back.
And Michael Fitzsimmons is joining us. Michael is going to be at Kool-Aid Days in Hastings coming up this weekend. And the instruments that you see there in front of him, which look a little bit like a steel drum, but they're not. They're called a hang. And Michael is going to be performing on those for us here in just a little bit. Looking forward to hearing it. Michael, when you compose a song, are there, like, you buy sheet music for piano? Is there sheet music for a hang, or do you have to compose it all yourself?
I compose them all myself. Most people do. Again, a lot of it is just by feel, by playing it over and over until you feel like you have a song. And then, but sometimes they're just improvisations in the moment too. So it's both. Like some of the recordings that I've done, I couldn't play those songs again.
Wow. Wow. What do you
Because
want
I own it.
people, Michael, what do you want people to feel when they come away from one of your performances? What do you want them to take away from it?
Well, I want them to feel happy. I want them to feel like that was a breath of fresh air. It's also going to be interactive. So I have some drums that I'll pass out to kids and adults. So we're going to do some working together as well. So it's a great way to release and have a good time. Also help bond community or form community or strengthen community. It's nonverbal communication. So there's a lot of, I had a librarian tell me once that, so we're drumming in a library, and she's there in this drum circle, and she says, I had a headache before we started, and now it's gone.
Oh, wow.
Perfect. Well, it is a very soothing sound. Can you play a little bit for us?
Sure. I can play a condensed version of a song if you want to hear a little bit of it.
Absolutely.
Awesome, yes.
Okay. This is a song of mine called Deliquesce.
That is incredible. Absolutely fantastic.
That is so wonderful to listen to. It's so unique.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't compare it to anything. I
Thanks.
love
Thanks.
it.
Yeah, that's a very short version of that particular song, but I just didn't know how much time we had, so.
Well, we
I
have
want-
we have a couple more minutes. People can see you again this weekend at the Kool-Aid Days. Where can they get your music?
From my website, dancingmanmusic.com. It's also available on iTunes, Amazon.com, and CD Baby.
Perfect. How many of those hangs, Michael, do you have?
I have 4 now. I had 3. Yeah, funny story. When I knew that I wanted to make a recording, this was back in 2004, and I knew that I needed more than just the one hang. So I went up to their website and said, we're no longer shipping. If you want one of these, you have to come to Switzerland and get them. So I'm in trouble. So I called them, and you've heard that saying, ask for what you want.
Absolutely.
I asked the inventor for 2 more. And long story short, he said, yeah, we'll send you the harmony to the one you have, and then we'll send you one that nobody else in the world has. So I've got that in the other room here. And then I just bought one recently from Spain. So there's different people around the world that are starting to make these. And that's got a beautiful lower tone to it. So yeah, they're very different. Kids think they look like UFOs, and adults think they look like George Foreman's grill.
Well, it's again, people need to come out and see you this weekend at Kool-Aid Days, Michael. We have probably a little bit less than a minute for the show. I'm going to say thank you to Gordon. And would you mind playing us out of the show with one of your songs?
Oh, I'd love to.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you taking the time, and the screen is yours.
Okay, thanks for having me on.